Hey. Well, I'm here today because for many people, this time of year can be so difficult. So many people find themselves suffering. So many people find themselves in a place that feels difficult. But I want you to know that the Bible has something to say about suffering. Your suffering is not in vain. Your suffering cannot compare to the joy that's coming. The pain that you've been feeling cannot compare to the joy that's coming. We have to believe that. We have to believe that because that's what the Word of God says. When we suffer, that crushes us, but not in a way that kills us, but in a way that breaks us open and unlocks everything that God has already placed within us. It crushes us in a way that produces oil that flows through your life and flows into the lives of others if you don't let it make you bitter. So suffering, it produces the fruit that you ask God for. We can't know how God is going to answer our prayers, but we know that suffering is a part of this life, and that Jesus himself, he suffered and he lived and he died for us. So suffering is a natural part of life, but it also gives us value for the joy that is a natural part of our lives as believers. When we dwell in him and when we allow him to dwell in us, we can experience joy in times of sorrow that may seem supernatural to some people who don't understand the God that you worship. And so when we live in that place, when we live in God's world, when we live in Jesus Christ, when we dwell in him, when we allow him to dwell in us, we can experience things that people who do not know Jesus will not understand. We can experience joy in times of sorrow. When the world is going into chaos, we can have peace that surpasses all understanding because the Word of God says that we can have it. When we put on the full armor of God, when we put on the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the belt of truth around our waist, when we put on the sandals of the gospel of peace, when we put on the sword of the Spirit and the shield of faith, this opens us up to defend and to do violence on the enemy. When we are prepared, we can experience everything that God has for us because it's waiting for us. We just have to go and take it. Take what belongs to you. Take your joy back. Take your peace back. Take your faith back. Believe. Believe in the true and living God. Believe that God has good things for you. Believe that God plans to do you good and no harm all the days of your life. Believe that God has a plan for you. Believe that you were born with a purpose. Choose to believe. Choose to believe. Even in times of suffering, choose to believe. So that's all I have for you. It's just something that I was thinking about because it's a difficult time and God has so much for us right now. If only we would just receive it. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.